Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson, Leonardo DiCaprio and Vittoria Soretti, Al Pacino and Noor Al-Faa. There are basically three types of guys who look at these crazy celebrity age gaps and have an opinion about it. Number one are the dudes who are like, God damn it, that's f***ing sick, I would do it if I could. Number two are the guys who understand it conceptually. Like, I could be 70 and still cranking out working sperms, and 20-year-olds are always gonna look like 20-year-olds, but they would probably rather date someone their age than some college shit. A lot of times it's like a gap in maturity thing, or like what other people would think about me thing. And number three are the dudes who are very against it. That's disgusting, that's revolting, almost saying the things women would say, right? There are guys who are against it, and that's okay. And then there are guys who are against it. The guys who are very vocally against it, who are repulsed by it, they want it more than anyone else. There's a lot of different opinions that men can have about this, but the fundamental difference between men and women, right, the thing that separates men and women when it comes to this topic, is that despite what a man says or thinks about this, 100% of men get it. Inherently, somewhere deep down, we get it. And not all women get it. You have to understand, it doesn't matter what a guy thinks about it. He could actually think it's gross, but he understands it. And it's not always like that for all women. Now, the purpose of this video is to try to explain the thinking to women. Because while some women can understand on paper that 70-year-old men can still have babies, and I suppose 20-year-old college girls are hot, I guess I get it. It is deeper than that. A lot of the things that guys want are just out of reach from us because of some obstacle, whether that's an actual obstacle or a self-imposed obstacle. And these obstacles all basically can be overcome by an apocalypse. Yep. Almost every hidden innate desire in men can be solved in one way or another by the world or society coming to an end. Almost every guy wants to know if the sound and the feeling of the vibrations in your hand of running people over in a car on the sidewalk is the same as it is in GTA. Almost every guy would like to just beat the ever-living out of someone just once in their life, but neither of those are possible. We live in a society where, despite our best efforts to not care what people think about us, we still care what people think about us. There are celebrities or rich people who have transcended this and are basically living in their own exclusive, not for you, you can't have it world that's much like a post-apocalyptic world where they can do whatever they want despite what society says is okay or normal. Like, look at Kanye's tweets. The main reason I think Kanye's tweets is so popular, not so much because people are agreeing with the content of what he's saying, it's the appeal of being so unhinged and withdrawn from society, you know, living in that post-apocalyptic world. You can say exactly what's on your mind, completely unfiltered. I would love to just send a tweet out to millions of people and say, yo, I've seen my brother's dick, I'll give it to him, his dick is longer than mine, but my dick is thicker, and that's more important. Every dude would love to tweet that publicly about their friend or enemy. I have a thicker dick than you. That's like a rite of passage. Listen, on to the women thing. There's no denying that women peak in attractiveness from the ages of 16 to 26.
Let's call it 18 to 28.
Let's call it 16 to 26.
I think for appearances, 18 is better.
Why?
You know, the fact that I have to explain it to you is probably worse than the fact you think it's 16.
Right, so 15 to 25. So even if you are a 6-year-old man married to a 6-year-old woman who you love, a 20-year-old college girl is going to look exactly as good as if 20-year-old college girls were when you were in college. They are the most attractive age of women. Objectively, 20-year-old women are hotter than 6-year-old women. I don't know what it's like to be married to a 6-year-old woman. I only know what it's like to one once a week for $1,000 so she can feel young again. But I would imagine you would be an outlier if you looked at your 60-year-old wife the same way you looked at her when you guys just got married, you know, in your honeymoon years. That's why they make fictional love stories about that. Because it doesn't happen as frequently or exist as often as when you just got married. I'm not saying that it's not possible to be infatuated with your 60-year-old wife and say, oh, you're just as beautiful as you were when I met you when you were 20. I mean, come on. If we're being honest, you might say that to her. The girls might hear that in a movie and squirt uncontrollably. But let's be real. That's not f***ing true. It never was. It never has been. And I know there's some women squirming in the seats and are like, this is gross. I didn't come up with this. I'm just explaining it. We were born with this thinking in us. People don't decide to like what they like. They're born like that. Except for gay people, they choose. Guys don't make a conscious decision to decide that 20-year-old women are hotter than 7-year-old women. We're not bad people who sat down with a pen and paper and decided that when women turn 30, let's just say they lose a lot of their value sexually-ness, attractivenessly speaking. That's just kind of hardwired. Women's fertility decreases rapidly in their 30s. Most men unconsciously think that older women are less attractive because they're less fertile. I consciously think older women are less attractive because I'm a sexist pedophile. Most of us guys know that this is gross. That doesn't mean that we don't see it and go like, you know what? This guy's a fucking beast for that. When I'm 70, you know, if my wife is dead and I have $100 million in the bank, you know, I mean, the reason guys look at this and like it is because they're doing exactly what they want. Some of us might not actually want this, but it's the freedom or the not giving a that if we were 70 and wanted to date a 20-year-old, we would do it. Most of us, even if we want to, won't. And we only would if there was an apocalypse or something. So that's basically it. TLDR, I guess 20-year-olds are hotter than 7-year-olds. Yeah, no, that actually makes way more sense and is way short. Okay, ignore the entire video. It's pretty much that they're hotter.